And good morning and welcome to Touch Base Daily. No intro today. I'm just seeing how we can do it with no intro so that way I won't get in trouble and I can start monetizing on this platform. One day, someone's going to do an intro for me. That would be great. I need my own intro so that way I can be here. Can you guys see me? Can you hear me? Are you there? I see you. I see you. Can you hear me? Let me turn on let me go to the Instagram, folks. Turn them on as well. What's going on, Instagram? So good to see y'all as well. But let's say good morning to our StreamYard and our YouTube channel. We are here. We are here. First person in the building is Hannah. Today is Happy Martin Luther King Day. We are not worried about the inauguration today. That is not what we are here for. I am not going to talk much about it. Maybe some things that are a little related to it, but I'm not talking about it. I have not turned it on. I don't even know what's going on. I did not turn on any of the mainstream news. I am done. But anyway, good morning. She says, good morning, Ron and Touch Base Daily family. I see Kelly is in the building. She says, good morning, everyone. It's 13 degrees in Nashville. Woo, baby. That's some cold. 13? Computer, what's the temperature in New York?
Right now in New York, it's 20 degrees Fahrenheit.
Woo, you're colder than New York.
30 degrees.
You're colder than New York. Tomorrow we're going to get that big cold. Holy moly, it's cold in Nashville. Huh. And I see in the building our wonderful Rashawn. Happy Monday, Ron and Touch Base Daily family. Yes, guys, happy Monday. It is the first of the week. Chris is in the building. I see Chris. Chris is in the building. Wow, it's 37 degrees here. Yeah, it's cold. Hey, Omar. Omar, are you off today? Hey, kids, he says. He says, hey, kids. What's going on? I see our wonderful Janet is in the building. She says, greetings, Ron and Touch Base Daily family. How are you all doing? I know it's Martin Luther King Day. Bryson's in the building. Mr. BL is in the building. What's up, Ron? What's up, RLP family? And I'm back at Tampa from the cruise. Welcome back, brother. Welcome back. Ooh, Rashawn says it's 7 degrees here in Ohio. Okay, so you know what? What's the temperature where you are? What is the temperature where you are? Here in New York, it is 20. Oh, I forgot what she said. Computer, what's the temperature in New York? Computer, what's the temperature in New York?
Right now in New York, it's 20 degrees Fahrenheit.
So it's 20 degrees here in New York. 20. I'm going to put mine into 20 in New York, 20 in NYC. 20 in NYC. What's going on? Hey, am I twitching out there? I forgot we are on Twitch right now as well. So are we twitching? Are we twitching? I saw my response went to Twitch instead of right to Touch Base Daily on YouTube. Are we twitching? Okay. Omar said it's a balmy 23 degrees. Wow. Oh, okay. I showed up on both. Okay. I'm still getting used to this Twitch. Yes. Because we're in the middle of what's called the social media shuffle. That's what I'm calling it, the shuffle. And people are leaving platforms and changing platforms. Let's see here. Not in Texas, but I'm celebrating MLK Day at my desk. Oh, you guys don't celebrate MLK Day in Texas? What? No? Holy moly. I did not. Well, I'm not surprised. Race. Never mind. Won't we go there? Woo, Texas. You gotta love it, or love her, or hate her. Whoa. Okay. Yes. Texas and Florida. Those are the two. But I know Arizona does. Hey, Dr. Tachi's in the building. Dr. Tachi's in the building. And let me see here. If anybody wants to pop on, you're more than welcome to. I'm gonna put the invite on the, hold on a second. I'm gonna put the invite on the QR so that way you can scan and come on. Hold on a second. Let me get that squared away. Oh, I didn't even send this out. Oh, let me send that out. I thought I sent it out. I thought I sent out the invitations for those that wanted to come on, in case they wanted to come on. I should have added Dr. Tachi to that. Let me put Dr. Tachi on that as well. Let me send one to Dr. Tachi in case she wants to pop on. I know she's a busy woman, but you know what? What's this MLK Day? We are just relaxing. This is just easy. We're just easing into our day today. Okay, I just sent one out to Tachi in case she wants to come on, in case she wants to pop on. Okay, so yeah, we're just hanging out here today. How are you guys celebrating your Martin Luther King Day? I am curious to know, how are you celebrating your Martin Luther King Day? I see here. Hey, I see here. I got you. I see. Well, I didn't know. I'm celebrating MLK at work. Rashawn's at work also. Okay. So some of you guys are at work on MLK Day. That's interesting. What's going on over in the Instagram world? Who's over there? Jamel Shabazz is over there. I see you, Jamel. I see you. I see KBLR is in the building too. Photo Styles. Oh, can I just say, for those that see this video later on, if you are interested and you are a photographer, or you know of a photographer, like Jamel has given me great people that he suggested to come on board. If you know of a photographer that we should be interviewing and that we should be showcasing their work and what they're doing and how they're impacting their world, please let me know who they are. And so that way I can send them an invitation to come on board and we can have that, because I want this year we're going to probably do, this season we're going to do more than just Wednesdays. I would like to have, if we had enough photographers here every day, that would be great too. And then we just have segments, and then we'll just have segments and interact with photographers and creatives and talk about how we can become better photographers and creatives and what they're doing and how they're doing it, so that way we can learn from one another. This is all about building community. So share with your friends, especially photographers. Let your photographers know about the platform, so that way we can build a really cool photographers platform. Those that love photography, those that love photographers, make sure that we do that. That would be a great thing. Kelly says, I watched the MLK service from Atlanta on Roland Martin's page. Yes, Roland's doing his thing this morning. Yes, and I've been watching Don Lemon he's doing his thing. He did not go down to the inaugurations. A lot of people are saying, I'm not looking. Why are we normalizing someone that is far from normal? Right? There is no need to normalize this situation. This is beyond normal. So let's not normalize it. However, what do you guys think of TikTok is back? TikTok is back. Let's talk about TikTok. First of all, how many of you are on TikTok? I'm on TikTok like part-time. TikTok part-time. Okay, Janice says, not just photographers, but multimedia people who embrace photography in their work. Just a thought. You are absolutely right, Janet. Like I said, it's for this platform, this community is for anything that can relate to photographers or photography, meaning artwork, any of that stuff. But also it is a platform too for artists. And I would like to definitely extend that. So that way we know that we are supporting our artists, our art lover community, because there's a lot of art people that love photography, and people like me who are I'm a photographer, but I love art. So again, pretty much a creative space, highlighting photography, photographers, multimedia photographers, but definitely creatives. Because we're all from the same tree. I see Elise is in the building. Did I say good morning to Elise? Did I say good morning? She says good morning to everyone. There's Miss Elise. She's in the building. And Day Sava is in the building. How you doing, Day? D Sava is in the building. Who else? Hey, Derek. Derek T. Tuggle is in the building, y'all. D. Tuggle is in the building. And I hear that you guys in California are gearing up for more Santa Ana wins coming in at the end of the week. I do believe it's the end of the week. Strong wins again. So, oh man. But yeah, how many of you are on TikTok? Adrian's in the house. What's going on, Adrian, New York City? She says, hi, Ron. Hi, everyone. Yes, the fam is here. The fam is here. How many of you guys are on TikTok? And did you miss it? It wasn't gone long enough to miss. And again, like you've probably seen in my stories, AOC, Roland Martin, a couple of people posted yesterday and last night. Don't believe bamboozle. Don't be bamboozled. Don't be bamboozled. Again, this is what do I call it? Everyone's kissing the ring of Donald Trump. Everyone's kissing the ring of the troll, the king troll. Everyone's kissing the ring of the orange menace. Think about it. TikTok did not have to go off. TikTok did not have to end its services on Sunday. Biden said they were not going to do anything about it, even though it is law, right? So they made it as if they had to get offline and that someone pulled their plug, when no one pulled their plug. But then yet you saw on the page, we are pulling our plug until Trump is working on a deal or whatever it was that was for us. So you guys saw it if you went to the TikTok page. This was just to give homage to Trump. And then when they came back on yesterday evening, oh, thanks to Trump, blah, 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 blah. Today, at this moment, Biden is still president. Biden is still president. So Trump didn't do nothing. Trump has no power, no presidential powers, no presidential anything to bring back on TikTok. So TikTok is on today, not because of Trump. Don't be bamboozled. These people are playing games with your face. They're playing games with your head. Don't, like the song, the leopards will eat your face. These people will eat your face. They will eat your face. I never thought the leopards would eat my face. They will eat my face. They will eat your face. These people are bamboozling you. Think about it. It was Trump that started the whole thing of banning TikTok when he was in the presidency. When during his campaign season, those young people set up a fraudulent account and they started buying up all the tickets to his one of his rallies, and then no one showed up. And he was furious. He was angry. And he said, I want TikTok done. You can't give someone's heroes a hero's welcome when they're the one that started the war. You can't give the arsonist love because he puts out the fire after he already started the fire? Y'all, come on. Come on. I am unleashed. I am not this season 3. I am not holding back. I usually I'm a little reserved online, but those days are gone. I am just gonna let it all hang out. I am just gonna be goofy me in all my glory. So get ready. Get ready. This guy started the fire. He started the fire, and then now wants praise because he wants you to think he put out the fire. Come on. We cannot, the gloves are off. We are going full hand fisticuffs. Come on. Don't be bamboozled, y'all. Come on, young people on the TikTok chain. Because also you don't realize, and I mentioned this before, but there was maybe I'll bring it up later on. Follow the money. Follow the money. I mentioned it many times on my platform. Allegedly, let's say allegedly, but there are some documents that Meta allegedly lobbied to the government to get rid of TikTok, its competition. As a matter of fact, the lobby statement, because again, a gentleman put it out to, I think last couple of days ago. The same wording that is in Zuckerberg's statement from Meta about TikTok being a security risk is the same exact language used in the law that Congress passed. Follow the money, y'all. Wake up. These people are playing games with us. And because of it, people are putting it out on the website. I'll put it up. I'm going to put it up in a little bit. But guess what? People have said now they're done with Meta. There has been an exodus this weekend of Meta. People are closing down their Facebook accounts and their Instagram accounts. No one wants to be bamboozled. But when you see crazy like this, you got to know, follow the money. Follow the money. You get the answers every time. Follow the money. You ever heard that before? I remember when I was on Wall Street. They always said, follow the money. Anytime a news report came out, follow the money. When a government official did something crazy, follow the money. Trump said, I love TikTok because young people voted. Only 36%. Only 36%. Don't get it twisted, the Trumpsters or the mega brain people. Don't get it twisted. Young people still did not overwhelmingly vote for Trump. Please, get a grip. Get those numbers. Get the stats. Anyway, I see my family's in the back room. What's up, Dr. Tachi? What's up, Gwendolyn?
Hello.
What's up, girls?
Happy MLK Day.
There you go.
Hey, y'all. And there's our wonderful Elise. The art building.
Hello.
We got all the creatives in the building. That's right. This is a creative platform.
Yes.
Can I share a thought real quick?
Yes, dearest.
Talk about the money. So I was watching, I'm rewatching The Blacklist again. And today's episode was Raymond Reddington discussing how he left these instructions for his daughter. And he mentioned, he was like, if you want your enemy to be your friend, you create a problem and chaos, and then you solve that problem. Oldest book oldest I'll say like scam in the criminal
Yes.
book. And so I'm not surprised that this stunt went down. I have already deactivated. No, not deactivated. I deleted my account. We did not deactivate. We deleted it. I wasn't big on TikTok anyway. I wasn't really there. So I'm okay with pulling away from these platforms. You're going to see me popping up in other places and going away from others. But
Yes.
we're not doing this. We're not.
This is called this is now going to be the social media shuffle. I just want to
Yep.
send it out to someone on our Twitch. Fuzzy Alaha. Well, welcome. Hello, she says. I just want to make sure we give a shout out to our Twitch people out there because I'm twitching today. Anyway, what's up, Dr. Tachi? What's on your mind, Dr. Tachi?
Well, number one, with regard to the whole TikTok thing,
yes,
I think a good fitting song for people to take into consideration is Bob Marley's Exodus. We need to make that our
yes,
movement of your people. We need to make that our theme song.
Yes,
when it comes to these social media outlets. This is the whole thing is extremely interesting. You know, I've been watching.
I know you have.
I have been really watching and seeing what has happened as quickly as they quote banned it. it came back.
Mhm.
This was, the plan all along. It is very easy, and look how interesting this is. There's two different things here. Number one, to distract you from the actual things that are at hand, that are problems, right? And there are a lot of people who are very stupid and will get bamboozled, and they're like, "Ooh, a puppy," and so that puppy is TikTok, okay? And then number two, so this whole thing is just very convenient because what he has done is like stolen your wallet
Yes.
and then helped you look for it and said, "Oh, here it is."
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So he comes to save the day. Remember, he was the one that was calling for the ban of TikTok to begin with.
Yes.
And this is just my personal thoughts. It had nothing to do with security.
Nothing.
Because he was embarrassed.
He was embarrassed by those kids.
And his ego could not take it.
Yes,
so
those kids
act
did
like
him
a normal chimpanzee. He said, "I'm banning the whole thing."
Yes, and see, people have the problem with Americans, a portion of our society. I'm not gonna say all Americans. Very little short-term memory. They can't remember. We just saw this video. We just saw this movie.
Yes.
Let me hear.
I think they have selective memory.
They
choose what they want to remember.
Well, we all know about selective
I think that's the big part. That's selective memory. Because you go back and see videos of him. You don't have to be on any of these platforms to see the videos online of him when he called for it to be banned. And then, like you said, Biden had already said last week he's not going to do anything with TikTok. TikTok took itself offline. No one, and I think that people, I think they tried to give the impression that the government had done something.
Yes.
Right. And TikTok played right along with it because that message on the homepage when you try it in, and thanks to President Cheeto, we now are able to. Who does that? Okay, that was clearly planned because really, if there is an issue, usually you don't name what the entity is. You generally say there's a technical issue, we're working on it, or because just like when you go to the Google Play Store, the App Store, you're not allowed to download it yet. It's still not available for download. So it will say due to regulation, TikTok is unavailable. That's all you need to say. So how much of a ploy is this?
This was a ploy.
Naming how stupid. Well, there are some people that are that stupid.
Well, there are a lot of people. I'm going to show you this footage. Here's the footage.
That's before the TikTok ban was signed into law in April of 2024. But one of the things about lobbying is that you have to make a disclosure of how much money you spent and the actual topics that you spent people to actually lobby about. Meta's recent disclosure covering lobbying activities from January through March does not mention the TikTok ban issue directly, but it says that the company lobbied Congress and the White House on homeland security topics, including discussions regarding cybersecurity, data security, encryption, platform integrity, election integrity, content policy, and terrorism, as well as issues related to voter suppression, interference, political ads, and misinformation policies. The language in Meta's disclosure echoes many of the talking points that have been used against TikTok and its Chinese owner ByteDance, including claims that China could use the app to collect Americans' private data and influence U.S. politics. Everybody knows that Meta is behind the TikTok ban, and I think that's what really has a lot of people upset.
So this is from Corey McClain, and he's a TikToker. He does a lot of homework and stuff. And but here we go. If people don't see what's happening, again, it's follow the money. Follow the money.
Okay, so this goes back to Miss Elise, and this is that part of, selective memory, selective outrage. It really is a question of, do you care? Because the outrage over TikTok being banned, and there's not an outrage over, removing the Department of Education, rolling back the rights of women. The fact, like, we have real issues going down.
Real issues.
And your whole point is, oh my God, the app is gone. Now, I'm not talking about people. I'm not judging it. You pick and choose. Because when people say, oh, there's this horrible event happening and blah, blah, blah. And my question becomes, well, which one? There is a world of human atrocities happening all over this world. You're talking about what's going on in Gaza. I'm talking about the condo, right? Like you have to pick and choose. So we have options here. Do I believe that a lot of folks are going to go back to business as usual? Yes, because we have made it seem this is just what life is supposed to be. Gwendolyn is not that person. If you don't respect me, you don't respect my money, my time. I have not shopped at Diller since 1996. Shit ain't happening.
Yeah.
I just need one reason to not walk back into your door. Some other people are going to have to see the house be on fire. And even then, they will rather record the fire than actually go get help.
Right. And that's exactly the point, the thing, Gwendolyn. And it's why I mentioned on Friday. Was that when I was on Friday when I said we're talking about being, the social media platforms and how honest are we going to be about what we're going to do? Either we real about it or we're not real about it. And I think that they count on us not being committed to pulling away from things. They say, oh, they'll be upset for a minute and they'll be back. But the CEO of this company is sitting with him today. That's the whole thing. And when he made that statement, the man was not president. The only president at the time was Biden, who said he would not do anything about the ban. He wouldn't impose the ban. He let that go. That was the only thing out there. The only other thing that came down was the Supreme Court decision. That was it. It had nothing to do with the government, which they gave. That was the impression. When I heard people talking about that was the impression they intended to give. That the government somehow said, well, they're gone, and the government had nothing to do with it. It was their choice to do it, so they could do exactly what Dr. Tachi said. Give credit to this demon that's coming in, And the funny part is when you want to say president, you don't.
Someone's got feedback. Turn down your volume.
I don't have anything.
There you go.
Okay, so you didn't wait until tomorrow or later on this afternoon, as Jazzy said, he's not officially president until after 12 noon today.
There you go.
So you didn't wait until he was actually president to say that he did anything for you. But of course, you don't acknowledge the fact that he's the one that brought all of this on you.
It's crazy. It's the insanity.
But we have to decide what we're going to do, because all of these platforms are doing the same thing, playing in your face. And we have to decide how we're going to handle that. We got rid of X or whatever. Now the challenge to people, and as Ron said, you said it's about money. It's about people who've been making money on that platform, who don't want to give up their money. And that's how you can get people to do things. If you say it's about money, they're gonna do it. So that's what it's about. You gotta, if you go on there, I guarantee you, it's people over there celebrating that they still there because they keep making money.
Oh, it's always at the end of the day, it's all about the money.
May I?
Yes.
All money is not good money. And I think that people need to
that's going to lead us
start
into our next conversation.
Exactly. People need to start realizing that. And number two, South Africa. I think, yeah, it doesn't seem like it's related, but listen to me, follow me for a moment. When South Africa, they had the Truth and Reconciliation panel, and they were trying to, quote, move past apartheid.
Yes.
You were trusting that you could break bread and hold hands with people that stole your land in the first place, and somehow they had changed.
Yes.
And I'm not saying everybody did not see the error of the ways that, but on the whole, no, because all you have to do is look at South Africa now. And even though there is Black leadership, there is still, the wineries are still owned by the colonizers. A lot of major businesses are still owned by the colonizers. So is the everyday for real South African? And you know what I mean by real South Africans. Are they benefiting? Not in all cases. There's still a lot of poverty. So what am I saying? That we expected, that you're expecting some sort of humanity from people who stole from you. Facebook is an app that was stolen from the original creator.
That's right.
You are expecting integrity from the very person who stole that app. As my mother would say, let's use a little bit of common sense here.
Common sense, but that's the same. But can we say the same thing about America?
We can.
Right? I mean, not to say we're anti-American, but the thing is, we got to tell the truth. America reneged on all of its treaties when it came to the indigenous people.
I hate to interrupt, but I like to be specific. Yes. Let's be specific about who reneged. White America did.
Yes.
Because I'm American.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's right.
So be real specific. And when I was in a 1619 group, I forced them to be specific. I said, when you say America, I want to know who you're talking about. Because if I have to be Black American or African American, whoever you want to call me American, we have to specifically say white America.
White America.
White America reneged. Just like white South Africa is not doing anything but still getting all the money.
As I was doing some reading this week, it was part of I think it was a comedy stunt, but they were like, it was like this aha moment. They were like, Chinese are called Chinese Americans in America. Africans are called African Americans in America. Indians are called Native Americans. Everyone's called something American except the European Americans. When the Europeans should be called European Americans? Because again, they came to the country. They came to this land, and they are just as much as all of us. If they're going to segregate by name, you would think they will also say European Americans. But you are absolutely right. White America has done very bad on treaties, on laws, on keep pulling the what they call it, the line back, and keep changing the position.
So right, you got to remember now, in history of America, there were Polish Americans, Italian Americans by title, right?
It's true.
They had those titles, but you got to remember, I said I'm going to do something about and inform people more about the caste system. But for them to maintain as much power and control, they brought them into the group so that they all became white Americans. So they did not, because when they came in, Polish American, Italians got them.
That's right. It was Irish Americans. It was Italian Americans.
They had labels. And then it became, they saw that it was important to incorporate those people, the former slave owners of this country, saw that it was important for them to maintain their position of power, to incorporate those people into their clan. KLAN. Clan.
And this was from our educator on staff. Because Elise knows her history. She is a teacher. For those that don't know, Elise is a teacher. This is what she's done for decades. So I'm not going to say the number of decades at least, but you've been doing this for a long time. So all money isn't good money. How y'all feeling about Snoop today?
Can I talk about that statement first?
Yes.
Can I go there? Because my dad always told me that. My dad said it, my mama said it, my grandmama said it. When you decide to, I'm going to use the word adopt America's idea of success, you may choose somewhere down the line to sell your soul for a couple of pieces of
Trinkets.
gold or whatever, you know. But when you say to yourself, you know what? When I look around my home, and most Americans, in terms of everybody, most people have what they need. Most.
Right.
Roof over your head. You have transportation. You know, you have food in the fridge. Most of us have it. The rest of what we are hustling and bustling for those who hustle, is stuff. It's material things that you cannot take with you when you die, that give you a good feeling in the moment, and then 5 minutes later, you want the very next thing. It is a drug. Convenience to easy money is a drug. Now, if I really needed to do something, like back when we had that financial crisis in New York, I was tempted. I was going to get on the pole, shake a little something, because they never see a recession. I was like, that's where the money is, because they're always in there. But absolutely. I don't need it like that. I'm not judging it. Just want to make sure I'm clear about that. Whatever job you have that job. But you have to ask yourself, what are my values and what do I stand for? So there is no hustle and bustle here. Like we don't have to do that. And I know that people are making a really good living on TikTok, but it goes back to point number one. And I thought about Prince and his Slave album. You're slaving on TikTok. You don't own none of that. And at any point, if they pulled the plug, you're back at square one. You need to own your stuff. Right. Own your own. Yeah. Like, make sure that you put that plan in place. But Snoop, it's disappointing. But everybody gets to pick and choose what they want to do for whatever reason. But disappointed highly.
Yeah, especially. And I mean, people were saying that the big debate was yesterday, and everybody was going back and forth online, and it wouldn't have been, because people really don't care what he does. And I mean, they wouldn't be like, okay, you know, like, hey, do you know, if you need the money, say you know, but you know, he's doing well, so who knows what the situation is. However, during the last presidency, his video of him criticizing anyone that was going to perform for the president then, or the inauguration back then, he gave them hell, called them all kinds of names, called them, it was just, he was ruthless to them. And now on this inauguration, he's tap dancing for the administration to come into power. So
shucking and jiving. I don't. Here's the deal, and people talk about this. Sometimes, no, not sometimes. If you're going to stand for something, it's a very good chance you're going to stand alone. So again, I don't know what his motivation was, his Nelly, any of those people. And again, perhaps some of those people truly are his supporters. We forget that. Like we kind of see people, because, you know, Black folks just love everybody. We just figure, oh, we all Black. It's like, whoa, partner. So, you know, like we forget that just because we're in the same car, you may very well be the person voting against me having the right to vote, being able to get paid equal pay. Like that could be you, and you can have all the same parts and look like me. We just, you know, assume as a child that we're all in the same place and space, and we are not. So he may very well have been a supporter for some time since he made that video and just never said anything.
Is this true?
Which he doesn't have to, because these are his politics.
You know,
Tachi?
Yeah, absolutely correct, G. I think, first of all three of you are excommunicated from the Black community. Let me just say that now. You no longer exist among us. Be going.
Yes.
So that's number one. Number two, I think that it's very sad that that's all you have. And that is the best you can do that. That is your only option to tap dance for chicken wings, to get to some place that you don't feel you have any other options, and this is your only option. That is the saddest state of affairs I have ever seen. Just like people who try and make do at, wherever they are. And this is not to denigrate people who try and make do, but the fact that you feel you have to make do in the current situation you're in shows that you have no other options. And this is the best and all you can do. How bloody sad is that? I actually pity you. If that is your lot in life where that's all you have, that is so sad. And it goes beyond supporting whoever you want to support, because now you've crossed the line and you support someone who calls for the rest of our annihilations. So you've crossed the line there.
Yeah. And people are upset. People, I have a 50-50 view on what we call council culture. And people get a chance to make the decision, but we all make our decisions by our pocketbooks and our wallets. Right? So you want to continue to buy his merchandise and continue to support him, you're going to do it through how you pay for what he's doing. But when I heard Nelly's explanation, I was like, dude, I'm
sorry, can you tell me the explanation, not to interrupt?
Oh, I want to hear. I'll hear Elise, and while Elise is talking on her thoughts on the matter, I'm going to get you the what you call it. Yeah.
So since we quoting scripture today, what does it profit a man to sell his soul? This is about money. This is totally about money. This man and what people didn't pay attention to. See, people didn't pay attention to when he said not long ago that he liked this man. Wasn't that long ago that he said that? There's a video of it. And of course, there's a later video I think in 2023 when he was talking about him in a negative manner. But he's aligned with people who is about money. And that's why I said I have been thinking about the whole idea of doing something on cast, like doing a video on cast. Because I've been on hiatus from
yes.
But a part of the whole mind game of the caste system is for those Black people who have money to give them the impression that they can somehow be in alignment with the top 1%, which is not true. Because by definition, and y'all know I don't use the N word, but by definition, that's what we just saw. And I'm going to the definition of the word. And so it's about money. It's about the proximity to what you think is power, but it's not power. So what do you lose? And now on our side, because Ron mentioned cancel culture, I refuse to use that. I hold people accountable for their actions. We need to stop buying into someone else's words to explain away us holding people accountable for their atrocities toward us. And this is about accountability. Let's stop falling for somebody else's misuse of language to tell us that we can't hold folks accountable when they do wrong toward us. And that's how they turn that around. That these people have done wrong towards our community for ages. They have always found somebody who's gonna go out there and tap dance for them, who's gonna go out there and try to pull people over. They've always done it. And Steve Bannon said it with that video. They were going to try to pull Black men. They knew where our weak link was. They know where it is. And so they pulled our weak link. They said they were going after, they got him, and they got him with money. So we have to call it what it is, and we have to hold people accountable. And at the same time, we have to hold ourselves accountable. If we say we're going to do something, hold firm to what we say we're going to do. And don't tell me, well, I've been over there because, I want to see that and I want to do that. But if you said you're going to leave a platform, leave that platform and don't go back, because they count on us having short memories and coming back. It's just like designers. When they insult us, we go back and buy some more. We still all designed up and still not holding them accountable. And I tell people, I was telling my family, I said, what people also didn't think about was Snoop wasn't the first person to do something. Jay-Z did it when he got up there and performed for those white Republicans who talked the whole time he was performing. Nobody ever really held him accountable. And the fact that they paid him off because of what they did to Colin Kaepernick and gave him the right to decide who does halftime shows for the NFL. That's how much they bought and sold these people. We put elevated to platforms that they don't deserve to be in, and we do not hold them accountable. There's no cancel culture. It's accountability, and we need to start holding people accountable and don't feel like, oh, we cancel. But I didn't cancel anybody. I'm holding them accountable for their actions.
Amen.
I'm looking for the collection plate. Hold on, Miss
I will not be using cancel culture language any longer.
I have to.
No, you're absolutely right. I agree with you. We had this conversation when you were in town last year, and not supporting any of these people that are supporting things that destroy our people or destroy the community, destroy what we've been building, what the civil rights. When you think about all the work that was put into the civil rights movement, I mean, the people that died, the slaps, the dogs, the water hoses, all of the stuff that people had to deal with for civil rights. And again, we always say, when civil rights legislation was passed into law, the highest benefiter of it was white women. And all the other minorities benefited from Black people bleeding for it.
And that's the part we it's incumbent upon us as Black people in America to constantly remind people that everyone that is not a rich white man have what they have in this country because of the sacrifices of Black Americans.
Yes.
You do. You have free public education for everybody because of the sacrifices of Black Americans doing Reconstruction. All of those civil rights bills and all of those amendments and things that were put there because of the atrocities that happened to us. It was never written in the civil rights legislation of Blacks only. It was never written that way.
Yeah.
It said underrepresented, and everybody was underrepresented at that point in time, except for rich white men. They had everything. And that's where it is. And we have to remind people who want to say to us, well, you know, my parents came over from Korea, Vietnam, and they made this life and they did it. Guess what? The reason they were able to come over and do that stuff is because of Black folk.
Because of civil rights.
And what they did when they fought, and their allies at the time who fought for civil rights.
That's right.
That's why you're able to do that, because they risked their lives for you to do it. I think we just have to constantly remind people when they bring it up or want to say negative things about Black people. We got to stop allowing people to use mind games, because our caste system dictates that Black Americans, especially those who are descendants of free Black slaves, are at the bottom of the caste.
That's
no matter who else feels like they've been elevated.
This is from the Defiant Lawyers. If you don't follow Defiant Lawyers, you should. Gives you amazing. He's a civil rights lawyer, and really has an amazing show. So he was talking about this. Let me get that
reaction to the Trump backlash that he has gotten, and I just want to respond to some of it. I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm not going to go in depth, but just some things, just a few things. Let's get into it.
Politics is above and beyond anything other than what that person stands for, what that person has done. Then I apologize that I, quote unquote, let you down, because I thought you was riding with me for the scholarships that I've been giving away since I've been in this business. I thought you was riding with me for the people that I got signed up on the bone marrow stem cell registry that was all record breaking and helping people save lives. I thought you was riding with your boy for the children that we visit at Children's Hospital to Brain. I thought you was riding with me for the bikes and the presents and the things that we give away to unfortunate kids at Christmas. I thought you was riding with me because I put on for my city and I try to bring my city up every step of the way. I did not know you was riding with me because you thought I would ride for who you voted for. I didn't know that. I apologize. I apologize. I didn't know that I had to agree with your political choices And I thought it was the things that you do, not the things that you say should be done.
Let me just say, if I was talking to Nelly, I would say it's great that you do those things for the community. It's great that you've done all of that. Those are wonderful gestures. But don't come back and undermine those things by performing for a president in a movement that is anti-Black. Now, why do I say they're anti-Black? And I tell you what, because he's going to go on to say in just a moment that we should give people the benefit of the doubt. We shouldn't hold against President-elect Trump the fact that he allegedly discriminated against Blacks in the 70s. Okay? I'm not really talking about that. I'm talking about what Trump and MAGA will start implementing tomorrow after he's inaugurated. And that's based on Project 2025, Agenda 47, the GOP platform. It's all based on those things. So we're talking about what this administration intends to do in the future, the anti-Black things that it has pledged to do through, again, Agenda 47, Project 2025, the GOP platform that will harm disproportionately African-American people, including children. So it's great that you do those things in the community, but then don't undermine that good stuff by performing at an event for an administration that will implement policies that's going to hurt that very same community that you have done, community outreach for.
So you got it. So you pretty much hear the comment and everything. Just stop sharing it.
The context. May I say? Listen, two things. If you remember, New Jack City, Nino Brown and them were giving out gifts and stuff at Christmas time, at the same time selling poison that killed the community. So I'm supposed to willingly take all these wonderful toys and be like, thank you, Nino. At the same time, my uncle just overdosed. Is that what you're telling me? So this is the same thing. Number two, this has always been Nelly's MO. If you ever saw the documentary Hip Hop Beyond Beats and Rhymes, this is a documentary I used to show my media classes all the time. And it talks about the misogyny in hip hop. So back in this was from the early 2000s. So I was teaching at Morgan at that time. So there was a video that he did called Tip Drill. And it was a terribly horrible video, which basically said that women are for sale. All you have to do is swipe a credit card in a particular place. It was awful. And so he was talking about the bone marrow transplant registry. And that's because his sister needed a bone marrow transplant. So he wanted to go and do a bone marrow drive at Spelman College. But the women at Spelman were like, not when you have this video like this. So what they said is, we will do the bone marrow drive, but we have to have a forum immediately after talking about misogyny in hip hop. He canceled it. So he doesn't want to be held accountable. This has always been his thing. As long as I am doing the bone marrow drives, as long as I am throwing out turkeys and such, same thing that was done with Rick Ross and a couple of other rappers with this whole thing with, the rapper I'm talking about from New Orleans, and talking about, I give out turkeys at damn your turkeys.
Yes.
Your turkeys can go to hell. Those are just a band-aid and a way to cover up the real diabolical things that you're doing. But the sad thing is, you don't even think it's diabolical. So Nelly, yes, you are, call it canceled. We're holding you accountable. You are that.
Holding it accountable.
We're checking for you anyway.
And I think we all need to hold these people. Like, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Elise.
Sorry, Ryan. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I'm with you on this. Is holding people to account. Go ahead,
and
Elise.
And within his video, he said what he said, you all hold him accountable for what he does. He's been held accountable for what he's doing. It's just that simple. You said that you thought that's what they did, and that's what we're doing. We're holding you accountable for that. And Dr. Taja, I actually, because my daughter graduated from Spelman, I actually remember when he did that. And I think that's where we have those, our memories we don't hold enough in our memory. So when that person's name comes up, we take anything and don't remember it. And the fact that those young ladies said, hey, remember this song? And we to have a conversation. He's like, no. So we have to remember those things. We have to stop allowing ourselves to be used by these people who keep making money off our backs. And until we change, that's what's going to happen. And this all makes me remember a video by comedian Joffrey. You know, he's from, maybe, is he from the Nigeria?
He's Nigerian. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So he had this video, and this thing where he talked about what an Asian guy said to him. He said that we have the best fashion, we have all of these wonderful things. He said, but the one thing that we did not have was unity. He said that's the problem with the Black American community. They don't have unity. So that's why why they have some of the issues they have. And we're you know, it's funny because we often say how we're not a monolith. The other ones aren't either, but guess what they do? They come together. Yes. They may not agree on everything, but they come together on what's gonna keep them surviving. And that's where we kind of go to the other direction. We'll publicly criticize those things. But at the same time, we cannot continue to allow people to sell us out. Yeah. And then profit from us at the same time. Yeah, we have to stop that behavior.
It's like a gentleman said yesterday on one of the broadcasts. He says, these rappers, and he was just pretty much really saying about Snoop. He was saying how it's Black people that put the money in their pockets. It's the Black community that gave them their notoriety. It's Black people that have given them everything they have to stand on. And then they get to a particular level in their wealth. And then they turn their back on the very people that put them there. And as in they make decisions that no longer foster and support that same Black community that supported them to create the wealth that they have today.
You know, right now for Snoop, as long as Martha is okay.
Martha,
what are you doing?
She's a real felon.
Martha.
Felon.
They don't care about
the white woman is the felon in the picture.
Yeah,
they don't count on us.
May I add to that? So I was thinking, I always go back to this. You know, I go back to the field Negro who finally got a seat at the table. So now they're a house Negro. And you hate to say it like that, but it's the real deal. There are people who, the moment that this white patriarchy system works for them, all of a sudden they're like, well, I don't want to give up my comforts. I don't want to go back to this, versus thinking, well, now that I have this power, now that I have this play, how can I bring everybody else up? And bring everybody else up is not, and I thought about that whole deal with Nino Brown and his turkeys. It's not about doing like a turkey drive or whatever. What happened to the real work of how do we build our community? Like, how do we strengthen the libraries, the school, voter registration, reading comprehension? Like, how do we do that? Now, I'm not an AKA, but I do recall in my high school, there was a program where they came and worked with us after school to talk about etiquette and all these other things, right? Now, I didn't pledge with them. I was like, I'm not really one for pledging, although it does run in my family. It's not my thing. But just being active in the community beyond just dropping dollars, but not really being there. It's a show. It's a show. So it has worked for them. And for a number of people, this current system works for them. You know, we often talk about, in order for folks to really get real, they have to let go of the lie that they're special. Right? That I'm sorry, you're not special, right? But if it works for you, you're not letting go of that lie, no matter what your race or ethnicity or gender is. You refuse to let it go because you're comfortable right now. And the idea of letting go of that comfort means that I get to be right beside you. I think not.
Yes.
We have it's so much bigger than just, you know, I was out in the fields picking cotton and now I'm over here washing dishes. It's much bigger than that, because if the system is working for you, the system of I'm gonna hold you down so I can get 5 more pieces of chicken. Are we doing chicken today? Chicken and watermelon? maybe some potato salad, no raisins. Then yeah, you're gonna keep letting that system work. You're gonna let that cog go. You're gonna keep going because it's, if I may, America's idea of what being successful, that dream was a white picket fence, a house, a couple of kids, like 2.5 dogs or something like that. I don't know whose dream that is. That was never my dream. And there are so many people who are like, the dream is not real. It's not happening. It was never for you anyway. That was never your dream. It was never your dream. If we just consider the number of people who let go of adopting America's idea of success, which is wrapped around in debt and fraud. You're faking that you're making money. You're renting your clothes. You're renting your Phantom. You're renting your mansion. It's all a facade. Imagine what the world could be if we let that BS dream go. But if it's working for you, you're not trying to let that go. Like, you'd be like, nah, I'd be damned.
But I think this is also why so many people find favor and solace and whatever in wanting to go abroad, because they can achieve a level of comfort. Because the thing is, the quote unquote America dream, America functions off of there being underlings. You cannot function if you don't have people underneath. And so I think, at now, especially, people are like, you know what? I'm tired of this underneath where this, I mean, when you hear people talk about finances and things, it's like, oh, we'll have 17,000 months of your salary saved just in case. What salary? I'm making $20 an hour, if that. So, you're asking unrealistic things and then
unrealistic
them when it does not work out because you did not go to Starbucks or wherever you get your coffee. It's your fault because you had that one extra $7 latte. This is why you are in debt. When in reality, it's a system that requires for you to be in debt so that you're forever indebted to it.
Yeah. This is, and you bring up a point that was brought up last night, and I'm going to share this with you guys. For because they created this platform called Win with Black Men, for the Kamala Harris election and putting her into office. But now it's gone beyond that, and so yesterday we're talking about. There was a conference call. So they're trying to make sure that we deal with Black leadership and try to help Black men across the country. And anyone is invited, but it's really targeted for Black men and to educate them on what's important. And so yesterday we were talking about the important people that you should have in your life. Every person should have. Everyone should have a lawyer. Everyone should have an accountant. Everyone should have a financial advisor. Everyone should have an insurance person, and everyone should know your banker. And you should know all 5 of these in a personal relationship, so that way when anything happens in your family, anything happens in your circle, you're able to get aid to the people around you in the community. And so it was a really good conversation last night. And I challenge any Black men out there, especially Black men. I mean, anyone's invited, like they said last night, but this is really geared towards Black men because there's a lack of leadership in our community, and real tangible information to help people educate themselves. And so they're using this platform now. Now that we are moving away from the election, is now how are you going to survive this political climate? But mainly, the main reason how we will survive in this new community, in this political climate, is to build our community. And so it's really good. It's called Win with Black Men. Check it out. I'll put the link inside the description here. But and they have some recordings from yesterday. It's a nationwide drive. Again, like I said, and I thought it was really good last night. It was an hour and about 15. They went 15 minutes over. It was an hour. I think they're going to be doing this once a month, or depending on how they're trying to organize this. But they are definitely trying to do this, and it's all is for all 50 states, not just for the southern states, not just for the the states that are what we call the voting bloc states, but it is for across the country. Yes, Gwendolyn.
Okay, so I just want to make sure I understand. I obviously need to go visit this website. So their deal is that they are looking to build more black male leadership.
It's a black men.
Because there's a lack of black male leaders, but they recognize that Black women have been doing all kinds of shit.
Oh no, they believe in that. Oh yeah, this is as a matter of fact, last night they were saying they got this. They got the name. They got it because of the black women.
Okay.
That we're doing
black women. Mm-hmm.
So this is a spillover, or I want to call it an appendix to what the black women were doing way before Kamala was running for president. So this is now they wanted to have something equivalent for black men, so that way we could support our leaders, we can support those that are running for office, we can talk about local issues, like they're creating an index for let's say, for instance, I do believe in Jersey. Jersey's going to have a black gentleman running for, and what more than qualified gentleman, for governor of New Jersey, and how we can support that. There are legislations there's several positions of black mayors around the country, people that are running for black mayorship around the country, and how we can support that, how we can support the people running for councils, how we can support people running for the Supreme Courts. So this is all about the whole bridge. But this is also in conjunction with the black women who have been doing this for a while. They've been doing this for 8 years. 12 years. The black women have been doing this for 12 years. That came together when Kamala was put into office as vice president, when they started to put all these fraternity sororities began to work overtime in making sure she had the support system she needed as vice president.
And so the black men, because I get Gwendolyn's point, because you don't want the black women to be kind of pushed to the side, because that's what happened during civil rights stuff.
Right.
Because black women did a lot of the work. And so the black male group came after the black women did that, raise that $1 million.
Yes.
They generated, and their title is actually kind of emulating their title, right?
Yes.
So the one thing I'll say in that conversation, and I'm going to channel my friend Jazzy in here, they have to remember not everyone has the financial resources to have a lawyer, accountant.
Exactly. And that was my point.
Build a community.
Yes.
How are they going to have those people who are going to be able to offer pro bono services to those of us who cannot afford that? Because we can say that. And so we don't want to come from a platform where everybody has to have something. But then you also, as you build a community, you have to make resources available. Yes. You have to make sure that you can direct those people who cannot afford those resources to those resources, so that they can do exactly what you're saying they need to do. So they can't lose sight of that when they make that statement. So maybe the next time you talk, you make sure you emphasize that point, or make sure that point is emphasized somehow, that as we cannot build a community. We cannot build a community that may sound elitist.
Yes, this is true. And they did mention that last night.
Inclusive community.
Yes.
So that we have resources, just like they did doing, like the Black Panthers did. They had an inclusive community of people. They went for everybody. So the doctors did pro bono work. The lawyers did pro bono work. They wanted to just make sure that we got the information we needed to get. So as all of us are looking at our communities, we have to make sure that we're inclusive as a community, that we're not leaving people out. And if we have suggestions that may require funds, that we have places that they can go to get that help, that they can that are good places to go, reliable places to go, so they can get those resources. So as we create community, which is that's how we're going to survive, is by the creation of that community. And everyone who's listening to this, remember, all of the denials of Project 2025, this is Project 2025 being put in place, and it's going to come in full force. So don't be shocked, or don't wonder what's happening because you did not take the opportunity over the last 2 years to go and find out what that really is.
That's right. We've been talking about Project 2025 for a while. thanks to our Elise, she brought it to our attention, and we've been on it. And well, now the reality is happening, and I do believe it is now 12:13. So now we have a new president, and also the executive orders are going to be put out right now, probably in the next 15 minutes, and you are going to feel a new America. It's not going to be pretty for a lot of people, and on this Martin Luther King Day, we need to get back to the roots, how they did it in the civil rights movement, and I can't express. Community is how we get through this. Community, building strong communities, supporting one another. If you, I say this often, if you don't have a community and you can't find a community, well, we got one here. And if you also think of community, make sure you hit the likes. Make sure you hit the likes. The algorithms love it. Algorithms. So hit the likes. So it lets people know that we're here. So hit the likes. It lets people know that you're listening, that you're a part of it. But building community. And if you find that you can't find a community, you know what I always say? Build one.
Build your own.
Build your own. Build your own. Look, here we are, Touch Base Daily. This is a community built. Build your own. If you feel like, I was in a city and I was like, you know what? I wish to go to the photo exhibitions. I used to go to all the photography classes and all that stuff. And I didn't see anything that was happening once a month. So people can be consistently knowing each other and get to know one another and to build friendships and relationships as photographers. So I built out my meetup group. We meet every fourth Saturday at 2:00. Every Saturday, every fourth Saturday at 2:00 every month. And why? Because I said I built it because I needed friends. Build your community. It is so important that you build your community. Yes. Take your online, offline. Take your online, offline. I'll never forget the first time Elise said she was going to be in New York. I almost pulled what little hair I have. I pulled my hair out. Oh my gosh, Elise, we got to meet. We got to meet. Take your friendship, take your online relationships and bring them onto offline. A good example of that, Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn talks to Dr. Tachi all the time. But she said, I'm going to be in Dr. Tachi area. I got to meet Dr. Tachi. I got to
made a special trip. I was like, I'm going to be in Jacksonville. She's like, it's like, what, 5 hours away? I said, that's just up the street. I'm in Texas.
I was near Georgia. You can't come here. She came.
She came.
Dr. Tachi, have wheels, we'll travel.
That's right. Adrian New NYC. She and Chris and all of us, we got together during the summer. Omar. We were all having lunch over here in Fort Greene, down just a couple of doors from Spike Lee's shop. We had the greatest time. We ate food. We broke bread. Take your relationships, take your community if you can, or the online community, and bring it offline. So that way, if they get rid of all these social media platforms, you still have each other.
And we have to piggyback on that offline piece. We have to also decide on how we're going to meet offline. Not necessarily, we can meet virtually as well, because we also need to know what is it that we want to do as a community of people. How do we want to move forward? That doesn't have to always be discussed on YouTube or wherever you are, but we can plan that way. And I think that's what I've been kind of thinking about as I've been away. I think about a lot of things.
Yes.
But we have to start thinking in that broad way of getting together and how we get together. And sometimes we need to be intentional about why, because so that we can move forward, because we know those of us who have been here and have paid attention, we know what's happening. We know what's going to happen. Like, we're waiting to see, I'm waiting to read online what happens in Chicago. Do they really go in Chicago and other cities tomorrow to raid places not looking for immigrants who are criminals, but looking for illegal immigrants. And I had a conversation with my sister last night. She said, "I feel sorry for the sick people," and she said her son said he didn't feel sorry. I said, "Well, I'm sorry. There's some groups of people I can't feel sorry for, when the majority of them voted for this to come in, knowing that he already said what he's gonna do."
They're starting in Chicago. They're starting in Chicago this evening.
Yeah, they said by
they already got the list. They said as soon as he was sworn in, they're going to implement the list, and the first place is Chicago this evening. So it's been said.
So I know initially they said tomorrow. So that's what I read was tomorrow, and they
some other
added
states,
some more cities.
Yeah, there's more cities.
In Florida, someplace in Texas. They added some more places that they're supposed to add to the list to do tomorrow. So it's going to be interesting how they do that, but at the same time, we have to stay focused and not distracted on what is it that we really want to do with our community, because we're so easily drawn and off and tasked and distracted. Like Gwendolyn was saying earlier, there's so many things happening around the world and even in this country that we're not paying attention to. We're not paying attention to what's going to happen with education in this country. And as Dr. Tachi said, they always have to have an underclass. So they're going to make sure that there's an underclass.
Yes.
Elon Musk has already gotten permission to build have a school outside of Austin, Texas, which is going to be an indoctrination center. We need to be real clear. It's not just going to be a regular school. It's going to be an indoctrination center. But those things are already happening. And we have to be proactive. We have to figure out what does it mean for us to not be distracted and for us to be committed to being proactive within our communities.
Can I just say,
yes,
maybe this seems callous, but I'm going to say it. All of this is not our problem.
No,
it's not.
It's above me now. This is not my problem.
As they say, this is not my pay grade.
Above my pay grade.
It's above my pay grade.
The fact that
in my job.
Exactly. The fact that swaths of your kindred voted against the interests of you, and now you are about to be sent on your way back to Acapulco or wherever. This is not my problem, and I'm not trying to be callous about this. We told. How do the old folks say? We done told you what the thing was, but you didn't want to listen. You didn't believe us because we were saying it. We've experienced a lot of the heinousness at the hands of some of these colonizing idiots. We've experienced this, and we tried to tell you. We marched for you. We did drives for you, for everyone. We're always doing things for everyone because we know at the end of the day, not only have we been through it, but it also affects us.
Yes.
One more ism. You're not special. You're just next. So we know this. So we tried to help, but you didn't want our help because our brand of help was too black. That's fine. I will take my black help and go someplace else. This is not my problem now. My problem now is making sure that we are okay and people that are on the side of right are okay. That's my problem now. And so all these things, you're going to be hard pressed to find me at any meeting, task force, committee for any of this, because I'm not doing a damn thing. I did my job when it was time to vote. I've been a Delta for 17 years now. I was always volunteer. I have done my job. So don't ask me to do a bloody thing else.
I hear you. I'm the same way. I sat there and said, unless you pay me some money to get out there in the streets, I'm keeping my butt home. I'm not marching for anyone.
This is not a problem.
This is not. We think. I mean, again, this is my motto for the year. I'm going to show you my motto for the year. FA, FO, a glass of wine, and a bag of popcorn. Because you effed around. Now you about to find out. All those people out there, maybe you are a troll. There was a troll, I think, in the building.
It was. Jesse, I looked him up online.
So
I was like, let me look him up.
If there's, the trolls, they're about to find out. And no one, and I always go back to you because Gwendolyn has instilled this into my memory. Until they feel the pain, they will not learn. They will not learn.
Right.
I'm paraphrasing it.
I have spent 5 years telling people about this story.
Yes, you have.
5 whole years telling people about all of this stuff. And those who decide they want to listen or somehow feel that they're going to escape the pain, if you are not a rich white man, and I mean really rich white man, you're going to feel the pain.
You're going to feel the pain.
Everything. And you
all of us are going to feel the pain because 1/3 voted for him, 1/3 voted for her,
right,
Kamala Harris, and then 1/3 thought it wasn't worth their time to get their booties off the sofa to protect and save the country.
Right.
And now we're all about to feel because 1/3 of the pie thought this orange menace should be president. So guys, FO, a glass of wine, and a bag of popcorn.
Well, you know, I've been fasting, right?
Yes.
So I told my husband that the first thing I was going to do is order my popcorn. Yesterday was National Popcorn Day. I ordered my popcorn from Garrett's and Topsy's because they make the best cheese popcorn in the country, Topsy's popcorn. So that next week I could eat popcorn.
That's right.
When my fast is over.
But I got my popcorn bag right in the fridge in the cabinet.
My popcorn is coming because I can't eat it until next week because some of it might be a little sweet because I'm staying away from sweets. But the thing is, I'm not going because we are prepared for this moment.
Yes.
Because we took the opportunity to make sure that we listened and we educated ourselves and each other. We prepared for this moment.
Yes.
So we're not going, and I told my husband this, I said, I'm not going to be sitting in shock and awe like people.
Nope.
I haven't been in shock and awe about anything for the last, I don't even know how long now, from the time he was elected the first time. I have not been in shock and awe about anything. So if you are now in shock and awe, that's because you made a decision.
That's right.
Not to learn anything. You made a decision to choose distractions over facts. And listen to misinformation. You made a conscious decision not to hear. And for those of us who have been listening, come tomorrow or this afternoon, there's nothing that we're going to be surprised about. I'm glad that Biden has done everything he's going to do. Because I saw my email today, he already did that preemptive pardon for anybody they could come after.
Yeah.
I'm glad he's done what he's supposed to do. But those who have been paying attention on this platform we already know we're prepared, we're undergirded. We need to make sure we have all our stuff in order, that we got a little cash in our house.
That's right.
Need to make sure we have all those things in order because we already know what's coming. We won't be in shock and awe. We won't be sitting up there. Oh my God, that won't be us.
That won't be us because we've been talking about it for 2-3 years now.
Yeah. Project 2025 has been talking about it for almost 2 years.
Yeah, so we've been talking about it. So the thing is, this community is not surprised. So none of us are surprised. But guys, if you are new to this community or you were just listening into it for the first time, we will talk about some stuff because you're going to get ready. You're going to have to put money, like this Elise said, put some cash in your house, find a book, put it in somewhere in the library, somewhere where people can't get to it, but you know where it is. Because when the banking system is not working, you got your cash. It's sad, but we got to start thinking that way because that is where we're heading. And, the first year is going to be fine because he's going to be skating on on Biden's accomplishments. However, remember, we always talk about it. Presidencies operate in lags. The 2-year lag. So with the policies that Biden put in place, we'll be living off those for 2 years to 4 years. People are like, oh my gosh, the tax situation. Well, we just this year suspended the tax cuts that the previous administration put in, that Trump put in.
Put in.
Yeah, so he put in. So that was another reason why they had to get back in so they can keep their cuts. But you were wondering why the economy was straining. is because of those cuts that we were living off of. Even though Biden was in office, we still had the law and the legislation that was passed under the Trump administration. Administrations operate in laggers. It's a lagger. So, guys, but 2 years in, it's going to start to crumble.
Wait for it. It's coming.
That's right. But the craziness is it started before today, but it's about to go down. Wait till you see what happened tomorrow. Wait till you see what 200 plus executive orders were passed today, between today and tomorrow. The most executive orders passed in one day. They made it a whole big program. So get ready. We are ready. I'm just telling the people that are just viewing us for the first time.
I guess they go into effect they went into effect after 12 noon because those are his executive orders.
Those executive orders, baby. So, guys, anyway, any last words from you guys? I want you guys to give me. Today's Martin Luther King's Day, and I definitely didn't want to do anything on the inauguration. I was like, I am on blackout for that. I'm not even looking at it anytime today or tomorrow. I could care less what happened on the inauguration. But my thing is, Martin Luther King and all those that fought for our civil rights, they fought for our civil rights. They died for our civil rights. They died for all of us. If you're Asian, Native American, Spanish, white, all of us. You may not know that. A lot of white folks don't know that civil rights is for them too. And if you knew the story behind Johnson, the reason why he signed it into law is because of poor white people were benefiting from the civil rights. So we're all in this together, and we all need to wake up. We all need to wake up. No matter what color you are, no matter where you come from, no matter what religion you are practicing, because the civil rights is going to be chiseled away, because that was goal number one.
And you know me, I have to say it again. If you are not a white rich man, the puppet master already told you you're gonna have a rough couple of years. He already told you that.
Yes.
So my thing is, I'm going to be watching what you do 2 years from now when the midterms come up. What are you going to do then?
Yeah.
Are you going to let them keep control of everything? And don't come calling us, as Dr. Tachi said. I'm not coming. I'm deaf. I tell you, whatever you got, whatever issues you got, don't knock on my door. They had a whole bunch of people here yesterday in DC. I know nothing about marching somewhere. I wasn't marching for
They were marching yesterday. That's right.
Half of them out there voted for this. Why would I march with you? Why? I'm not marching with you. I'm not gonna come out, and it was cold and wet too. I'm not marching with you. And if you look at that crowd, most of them were white.
Yep, they said the black people were not there. The black folks were not there.
We're not coming.
We have done it. We've done our share. Black folks have put a lot. And again, I know some people say, "Oh, Ron, you guys talk about blackness all the time," but we are black people.
Yeah.
If you may not have seen that, all four people on this screen are black. And again, for all the people that think, why is it always got to be black? American history is black history. Black history is American. They are not separate. They're entwined together forever. You cannot have one without the other. And people say, why is it always about being black? Why is everything gotta be so racial? Because America is a racial country based on racism. And as we know from our sister Elise says all the time, she reminds us, based on class systems.
Our caste in America, be real clear, our caste in America is racism. It's built on racism. And the law is wrong. The group that they try to make sure, and I said it earlier, is Black Americans who are descendant from freed Black slaves have to be at the bottom. And which means that until you speak, if you look like me and you from a different country, until you speak, they just assume you me. They put us all together. So understand, we're all in the same bucket. If you're not a rich white man, we in the same old bucket.
We're all in the same bucket.
We're in
They
the
want
same,
us to
white
divide
women,
each
you in
other.
that bucket too. You may
Yep.
be closer to the top, but you're still in that same bucket. We're all in
We're
the
all
same
in the
bucket.
same boat.
And we got to stop. Like, why is it always black? It's not always black. It's always about the truth.
The truth.
And somehow the truth reveals that this country is a racist country who tries to inflict as much damage as they can to Black people. That's just the truth of it. It doesn't matter. If you're on that diaspora, they try to inflict as much harm as they can to all of us. They still can't figure out why we still here.
We still here and we ain't going nowhere because we built this country. We look, our blood, our deaths, like someone told me one time. I was on Don Lemon and I said America's great days are behind her, and then someone told me to leave it. Someone said, so then leave. I was like, I wasn't gonna let that stand. So I sent back a nice little. I was like, my grandfather served in the military. My great-grandparents served and worked the fields. Some have died. Some have been jailed. Some have been lynched. And you gonna tell me to leave the country? We built this country. When I went down to Georgia and saw those little hands in the bricks of that alleyway, Philadelphia alleyway, when you had slave women with their babies creating the bricks, and you see their little hands in the bricks, as you walk down Philadelphia alleyway in South Carolina and Charleston, and you gonna tell us to leave? Baby, I was having a moment. I was like, wait a minute. I was like, don't you come for me. Don't you dare.
So we built this country, but I always have to say it, and a lot of people may not understand why I say this. I am indigenous to this country.
Yes.
I'm indigenous to this country. All of these people who tell you to leave aren't indigenous to this country.
Yes.
People. And the reason I say I'm indigenous, because I was created here because of enslavement and rape and torture. My ancestors survived all of that, which made me a product of this country. I was made here. And I know it's hard for some people to understand that I was made in this country. I look like I do because of rape. I know my European ancestry is there. And I was like, we need to start telling them what country, when they say go back to your country, ask them where they came, because they need to go back to where their ancestors came from. Because my ancestors, I can't trace that. I can't tell you exactly which country that they decided was going to be called whatever they called it, is where my people came from, because of the rape and all of the things that happened. So it's multiple tribes within me. I actually have my African documents that show the multiple tribes within me. But also I have the European stuff. So
we all have the European. We all got European blood, and we didn't come there because someone was in love.
We did not. We don't look like this because our ancestors chose to have sex with somebody European. We look like this because our ancestors were raped by Europeans
to create a product.
Because after they were not able to bring more slaves in here, they started raping them so that they could produce more slaves. And they did it, and they made sure that as long as your mother was a slave, you could not be free.
Yes.
And they made that policy because your father was a white slave owner or a white overseer or whomever. But in order to keep their own children as slaves, that's why they did it. So I always tell people I was made in I'm American made
in America,
and therefore indigenous. So
that's my guys skill. Well, this was I'm so glad we had our discussion. Ladies, I mean, you just make everything beautiful. It's like Don Lemon said the other day, if a Black woman leads it, I'm with it. Black women, they keep us grounded. And I am so thankful for the 3 Black women that are right here on this panel. They come on here, they share on this Martin Luther King Day. We talk about service. Dr. Tachi serves Elise serves. Gwendolyn serves. These are people that serve their communities, serve their students, their educators. Oh, and as a matter of fact, all three of you are educators. Gwendolyn taught Oswell. So you guys are all educators. You have served. You have shaped the minds of young people and middle-aged people. Whoever was sitting in your presence in your class or even online. How many times have we sat at the foot of Elise while she tells her stories about her sunsets and what's going on in her life as she's in LA on some little rock hanging out looking on at the sun go down. And we just sit at her feet and listen. That's teaching. We are so blessed. We are so blessed to have such great people in this community. And I am so thankful on this MLK Day. Thank you for all your service that you give to us. Thank you for the service you give to so many people. And I am so thankful for all three of you. And also everyone that's in this community. Thank you so much.
Ryan, can I say something to Dr. Tachi?
Yes.
So Dr. Tachi has taught me a lot. I'm a hard-headed student. I've been looking for my notes ever since the day we talked. I finally found them the other day. I said, because it's time for me to get some things done. But I appreciate, the fact that those of us on this platform, that many of whom are part of her network. She created a space. She created a community so that people can get information out. She created a whole network. How many people do we know that does that? And just to say thank you for educating us all, especially in the realm of media and how to conduct ourselves. And I think it's just important. I like to give people their flowers while they're above the ground.
Yes.
And I want you to know that I really do appreciate your inspiration, your push. I appreciate that because I'm that type of person who has to be pushed because I know how I am. I'll settle down and not do when I know I can do. So thank you, Dr. Tachi.
Absolutely. Thank you. You're not a hard-headed student. Who told you that?
I did because look, I didn't do it. I've been delinquent.
All in due time.
We all have the rough waters to cross over for our enlightenment. So, but this was great. I mean, this was a great way to spend time on this Martin Luther King Day. I had so much fun. And we just talked about things that mattered. That's the beauty of community. And we live in an age that, look, we're from the West Coast to the East Coast, from the southern states to the northern states, the middle states. Everyone is represented in this community.
Absolutely.
And we gather, and because of technology and this ability to come together and meet every day on this platform. If you're new, we meet here every day. Touch Base Daily. We meet here every day at 11 o'clock. And this is season 3, and we're back at it, and we're going to be sharing. And this year, I was talking with Elise, and we were talking about we're going to have speakers on about prostate cancer and about knowing your numbers. We're going to talk about knowing your numbers for your sugar levels, because there's a lot of people that don't realize that they are diabetic or pre-diabetic. And because this is, people may not say, well, how does that affect photographers? And how does that affect creatives? All of that. I told I reached out to my eye doctor. I said, I need to have you on to share about the importance of eye care. He goes, I'm in. Because when you build community, it's not just the work. Like, I'm just a photographer. I'm just a painter. I'm an artist. I'm a creator. It's about all of the ingredients that help you become better. Having people on that can talk to healthcare, people that can talk about your eyesight, people can talk about your blood pressure, all this stuff is important. And it makes it, talking to the whole human, as Gwendolyn we used to always hear it all the time at our job, a whole brain approach.
A whole brain approach.
Remember that, Gwendolyn?
Oh, yes.
A whole brain approach.
Oh.
So that's what it's about. So we're all here. And again, and because most of the core people are in here right now, there's people that are here every week. If you have an idea, if you have someone you want to recommend, if you have someone that you know that's a reputable person that can speak into the community, and you already vetted them, you already know who they are, make sure you just send the introduction. Send the introduction. Do an introduction like how we do in networking. This is Ron, or like Dr. Tachi and I do it, right? So you introduce, and then that way they can come up on board, and then they can share, and I think we'll all benefit. Derek says, reclaiming my time. Yes, Anthony sends some love and some hearts. Janet says, you give us an anchor to keep from drowning. Ooh. Thank you, Janet. Wow. That was a powerful statement. I love me a good quote. That's a good one. That's a good one, Janet. I'm gonna have to use that one. And you said probably the best episodes I've been able to witness yet. Thank you, Warren. Yeah, so if you're here, hit the likes again. Make sure you hit the likes. We should have the likes should be equal to the people that are here. Okay, it's time to get off here. We've been on here an hour and 45 minutes, and it was fun. It was a good way to spend my MLK lunch time, and now I'm going to get some lunch. I'm making pancakes today. Okay, guys, thank you. See you tomorrow. Oh, sorry, I'm not going to see you tomorrow because tomorrow I'm getting my CT scan, and now I already now shared it with my family, so I'm sharing it with you. Is that when I got my colonoscopy done last week, they found something that was an anomaly. So they did a biopsy. They did not see anything cancerous. They did not see anything that looked negative. However, they won't know until they take it out to know exactly, so they can give me a full 100% clear.
No.
But so tomorrow, so tomorrow morning, I will be at the CT scan, get my CT scan. They will be giving me all that stuff. And then next Tuesday, they'll be giving me my consultation. So we'll be doing that. So, but that's why we do our colonoscopies. A lot can happen in 10 years.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So make sure you get your colonoscopies. And again, you start at 45 now. So start at 45, get it in. If you haven't got your colonoscopy, get it done. You could go to my YouTube video. I gave you my process during the day, me going on a train, heading to the city, take a look at that. And it was not bad at all. It's so worth it. It will save your life. And if they find something, they can take care of it while it's small. Yeah. So take care of yourselves. Take care of your health. Your family needs you. The world needs you. So take care of yourself. Get your colonoscopy done. If you have not made your appointment and you're heading in those years, I always say 45, then you get to your 50, then 50, whatever, how it is you want to create it. But make sure you do it.
So
okay?
Ron, I had this conversation with my doctor when I went for she likes to check my blood pressure because she wants me to take medication. But my blood pressure was 122/73, so I was fine without medication.
There you go.
Anyway, but one of the things we talk about the lowering of the blood, the thing to 45. The reason we started because I told her that I've noticed that there have been men, young men, getting it in their mid to late 30s.
Yes.
And particularly men of color. And I say of color because some of them have been Hispanic or from the Latina community as well as young Black men. And I said, I understand 45, but it'd be very good. I want my daughter to let me talk to her friend who his diagnosis was at 34. And he was in China at the time, so that's where the surgery was done. So I just want, what we need to understand what to look for in changes, because 45 may sound good to the medical profession, but it may not be early enough for people who end up having some issues. So we don't know what the look fors are, and I've seen that increase among young Black men because Chadwick was in his late 30s when he was diagnosed.
Yes.
And so was the guy Ibrahim Kendi who wrote their anti-racist book.
But even Katie Couric's husband, Katie Couric that was on Channel 2 and Channel 4, her husband had colon cancer in his 30s.
Yeah, and so it's like, what do people need to know to look for? Because because of these cases, we need to start looking earlier, and specifically, I've been seeing it among younger men.
Yeah, and a lot of young men are dying. So I mean, in their 50s, it's so. I mean, for those that are in the hip hop world and hip hop, follow hip hop artists. I mean, over the last 5 years, there's been a lot of hip hop young brothers that have gone away. So it is important to take care of your health, and not only your physical health, but your mental health. Don't be afraid to say, I need help. I have several friends that get therapy. They go to their doctors. They have their sessions every week. And I'm so proud of them to get your sessions. If you need it, don't be ashamed. It's okay. In today's world, it's okay. People talk about it all the time. Oh yeah, I'm going to my therapist today. It's okay. So take care of yourself. Okay, guys. Well, I'll see you on Wednesday. Okay, guys. Love you all and have a wonderful, wonderful MLK Day. Love ya.
Love you.